Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear brothers and sisters. In today's video, I will be talking about the forbidden fears in Islam and why it is considered haram. And in order to make my point, inshallah, I will tell you a story. So, in a village nestled between a vast desert and a winding river lived two merchants, Zayed and Khalid. Both were men of faith, but their fears shaped them in different ways. One evening, a fierce sandstorm brewed on the horizon. The sky turned a menacing shade of orange, and the wind began to howl. Zaid, seeing the storm, felt a jolt of fear in his heart. He thought of his camels, his goods, his family, so this was a natural fear, the kind of fear that sharpens the senses. So he immediately set to work, securing his home, bringing his animals to shelter, and fastening the covers on his merchandise. As he worked, he prayed, "O Allah, protect us from the harm of this storm, for you are the best of protectors." Khalid, however, watched the storm with a different kind of terror. He wasn't just afraid of the wind and sand, he was afraid of the spirit of the dunes, astaghfirullah, a local legend that the villagers claimed to ride the storms. Because years ago, a soothsayer had told him that this spirit held his fortune in his hand. He didn't think much of it at the time, but for some reason it stick with him. So while Zaid prayed to Allah, Khalid ran to a small hidden alcove in his house where he kept a collection of charms. He lit incense and placed a bowl of his finest dates before them, whispering, "O spirit of the dunes, spare my wealth. Do not be angered with me, accept my offering." Astaghfirullah. So the storm passed and both men suffered some losses. A few goods damaged here and there, and a tent torn. Zaid, though saddened, accepted the loss as Allah's decree. He was grateful his family was safe, and he began to plan his repairs, his trust in Allah's plan intact. His fear had led him to take practical action and then turn to his Creator. Khalid, however, felt a deeper, colder fear. His offering hadn't prevented the loss. He now believed the spirit was truly angry, and this fear of this creation, this legend, this superstition grew stronger. He became convinced he had to make a greater sacrifice, not to Allah, astaghfirullah, but to the idol of his imagination. His fear didn't lead him to Allah, it led him away from Allah. So why some fears are considered haram? Well, this story illustrates the two kinds of fear. The natural fear, the khawf tabi. This is the fear Zaid felt. It's the natural instinctive fear of tangible danger, a storm, a predator, or an enemy. This fear is not a sin. It's a survival mechanism given to us by Allah. In Islam, this fear is managed by taking practical precautions like Zaid, securing his home, and then placing one's ultimate trust, tawakkul, in Allah. The forbidden fear, however, which is khawf shirk, this is the fear that Khalid had. This fear is considered haram because it's a form of shirk, associating partners with Allah. It's the fear of someone or something other than Allah in a way that is due to Allah only. This includes fearing that idol, a spirit, a saint, or another person that has the independent power to harm you or benefit you outside of Allah's will. Directing acts of worship like Khalid's offering to appease this fear of creation. And allowing this superstitious fear to become so great that it dictates your actions, eclipsing your fear and reverence for Allah alone. In essence, Islam teaches that while it is natural to fear danger, the only fear that should give one's life worship and ultimate devotion is the reverent fear and awe of Allah Himself. To give that kind of spiritual fear to a creation is to commit the greatest sin. Now, before I close this subject in this video, in the village where my grandparents grew up, we had a saying, and it goes like this: fear makes the wolf bigger than he is. So the point here is trust in Allah's plan. Just like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said once, tie your camel, then trust in Allah. You do your part. You do the logical thing. You do the thing that are in your hand. And once you finish up to that point, you transfer it to Allah and you say, "Ya Rabbi, I trust in you in handling my affairs," and that's the way to do it. I hope this video has been inspiring or informative, and See you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.